Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we take a look at the track It Won't Be Like This Forever by the Welsh pop punk band Neck Deep. This is the fourth single the band have released in recent times, following on from their 2020 album All Distortions Are Intentional, and they continue to provide us with their fun, uplifting pop punk sound, and they never have two singles next to each other that really sound the same, and we've certainly seen that from some of the recent singles. STFU being quite quick, really in your face, really just having that sharp message that hit you. Heartbreak of the Century being much more on that playful side as they took themselves to the awards ceremony and battled themselves to try and win the award, as well as Take Me With You as well, kind of talking about wanting to leave this planet almost and how alien we must look in the society that we live in. So they do love to include some really strong messaging into their fun, into their playful style, and it'll be interesting to see if this track does the same. So will this latest track continue to follow the trend or simply go down in the history books? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
You know it won't be like this. It won't be like this forever. Only your kiss could stop the loneliness from sinking in. Yeah.
So we can really see they're sticking with a much more generic pop punk sound with this track, going back to those typical school age love songs where they're throwing the paper aeroplanes to kind of send those love notes, and going back to that typical theme that we do see in pop punk revolving around relationships and one person wanting to take the other back and they're not too sure, this kind of fractured relationship that we have got. And you can certainly see that from Ben Barlow's point of view, he's just kind of having that faith that they will get back together. But it's funny how he's kind of putting the blame onto her. Baby, I hope that you calm down and you cheer up. So you can really see this kind of pessimistic approach that they've got towards their partner. And we won't be like this forever. We'll get back together. We'll fix things. But once you start perking up a little bit. So definitely kind of trying to put the onus onto the other person and kind of having this quite elitist almost view. You're going to miss it all, not I'm going to miss it all. Just really putting the blame and the sadness, trying to almost win them back by saying, oh, you're going to miss this, you're going to miss that. You'll kind of wish that we got back together. So really kind of touching on the idea that they are hopeful and they kind of almost know in their bones that it will be like this forever and they will get back together. And I love how it's got only your kiss could stop the loneliness from sinking in. So this person that Ben Barlow's playing is kind of accepting this loneliness but putting the blame on the other person. It's something you do see kind of more so with immature lovers quite a lot of the time. They'll kind of throw the blame at each other rather than accepting things and trying to fix things.
Be so
And one thing I really like this track kind of shows, through the very simple visuals of the constant paper aeroplanes, almost this barrage, this kind of constant attempts, not really willing to stand back and kind of making the effort to try and reach out to somebody. So always kind of playing this almost elitist character that's really putting the blame on somebody else. They're kind of accepting, on a Monday I am the rain. So you can really see they're trying to rain down affection onto this person to make them take them back. And use of the paper aeroplanes, these constant attempts at winning somebody over, hoping that eventually something will stick and things will be able to be repaired. And I love on the musical style as well. It's so simple, it's so soft, and it's so uplifting. It's a song that you can't help but smile and nod to, as most of their music does. And you've still got Ben Bowell continuing to provide such a unique vocal sound. It's really, he has such unmistakable vocals. As soon as you hear a neck deep track, you know exactly what it is, you know who it is, because even though they kind of fall into this generic pop punk category at times, they really do stand out as one of these standalones in terms of that vocal style and the way they deliver that really helps to kind of set them apart and really show their unique sound.
From sinking, see, I can try to explain it, but it's just too complicated. Sometimes I think it's a curse, it's the worst. God, I hate it, it's a long shot, baby, but I think we're gonna make it. We'll be there someday, and I swear that it won't be like this. No, it won't be like this. No, it won't be like this. No, it won't be like this. If only your kiss could stop the loneliness from sinking in.
What a great little track that was. Just certainly very uplifting, and everyone loves a happy ending. It's a long shot, baby, but I think we're going to make it. So really accepting that it may not work, but let's give it one more try because it won't be like this forever. So a very simple track. There's not too much in the message to break down, but when it's generic pop punk, you don't need it. You just need that typical love story. You just need those really uplifting sounds and vibes. Even though it's trying to talk about two people coming back together, they build the simple story in of the lovers that have fallen apart and then come back together, and making great use of the visuals with the paper aeroplanes. And it's something they've shown very cleverly through a lot of their visuals. They really do put a lot of effort and sometimes quite simplistic ideas into their music videos, but again, they always had an element of fun, really just showing the lawnmower, the kind of getting run over, there's people, the band members tossing the paper aeroplanes between themselves, trying to bat it. So I just love how the fun, and when you watch the music video, it adds to that uplifting style as well. But certainly just another great track from the band, really just showing their playful side, and again showing something a little bit different. It's the kind of softer of the 4 tracks that we have heard so far, really going back to that more love story style that we haven't seen on the previous 3 tracks. And whilst there may not be a superlative amount of depth to this track, one thing the band do show with songs like this is that they do the basics brilliantly, and they continue to build on that with some fun and quirky little elements, which I think is again another really strong attribute that the band do have. It's very rare that you see them put out a bad track or that doesn't have that uplifting swing to it. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments section below. How do you think it lives up to some of the recent singles that we have heard? Which of the 4 was your favourite? STFU, Heartbreak of the Century, Take Me With You, or It Won't Be Like This Forever? I would love to know which of the 4 has caught your ear the most. I think for me, actually, probably it's still got to be Heartbreak of the Century. Just that music video, it's stuck in my head so much and I can never forget it. And if you do want to see more neck deep content, then I have covered a couple of the other tracks that they have released recently. I will post a link to those in the description of this video. And as always, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.